Hey, I'm live again. This is another video, and I'm going to discuss about authentication system. Should you use these services that offer the authentication service for you? There's a lot of services. There is Auth Zero, there is Amazon Incognito, there is Google Firebase. There's a lot of services that really offer you the service of authentication. So I'm going to create this video maybe to help someone who want to decide which authentication services he should use, or should you build your own services from scratch. So let me give you the technical decision here. So because I am a good software engineer who happened to be on YouTube creating videos. So anyway, let me give you the tip. So there is two things you need to consider at least when you make this decision. One is the freedom. So why is the freedom the key point in deciding which authentication services, or which should you use those authentication services or not? So there is two things you need to consider here. If your application is enterprise application, or if this application is just small app for like a startup that you're building an app from scratch, and you have no hope that this application will ever take off. So the reason why is the the use case for enterprise application is different from the application for your own, like when when you are creating the demo and so on. But for the enterprise application, you need maximum control of everything. So, and this is where for enterprise, it make a lot of sense to build your own authentication services from scratch. So I think that is the key point to consider if you're a software developer, or if you're a project manager deciding which authentication services you're about to use. So another aspect, this is the tip number two. So another aspect you need to think about is the money that is going to allocated for a developer to take care of these authentication services you're about to choose, because the cost of maintaining the authentication services can be really high. There's a lot of things you need to think about down the road. So these authentication services such as Auth Zero, Amazon Incognito, and so on have done a lot of works such as security wise. So you don't have to worry about the security and managing the users, which is really critical when you think about it for the enterprise application, for example. But again, if you're an enterprise, what you're looking for, probably you're looking to have the freedom of your user and have the control of your user. And something I like of myself implementing in my own authentication services is that I have the control of the users, and I'm storing the user. And I believe storing the user is priceless. And if you give away this control to a third party company such as Amazon or Auth Zero, or there's many services, I think at some point you need to pay the price, and the price is not only these subscription services, subscription fees you need to pay on monthly basis, which can be quite huge, but also when you need to opt out, it's going to be another development cost that you have been avoiding. So to me, I think it make a lot of sense to implement the authentication services in the first place and have this strong foundation of authentication in place. So that is the number two reason why you need to authenticate. I mean, you need to create your own authentication services. So another tip I can give you, right from example, the way I do it is that I know I don't want to handle the authentication services, at least for now. So the way I do it, I use the Google authentication services, and I store my users. Like I have the copy of user on Google, which is going to handle the authentication for now. And I keep the same user on my system so that at any time, if I want, if I decide that I don't want to have the user on Google, or at some point where the Google bills is too high, I can cut it anytime and the user won't notice anything because all of that is happening on the backend side, so that I don't have to freak the user out about what is going on. So I think that is the clever way, I think, because you take the benefit on both side, and you don't have to implement this crazy authentication system in the first place, but you can do it in a hybrid way where you can have the Google authentication services working for you and your own system handling small details such as saving the user emails and probably password. But you also let the Google or other services you choose to handle the authentication, at least for now. So yeah, another aspect you need to look at is the price of a developer. So a minimal price for a good authentication services with the tokens implemented and so on, it's going to be around 2000 USD dollar, USD around that feature set. Not putting in consideration in consideration the maintenance cost and also the other constraints such as managing the securities and so on. So, in short, if you're a startup and you are, maybe starting out as software engineers, and you need to learn how to create these services for yourself, because it is one of the things that we show. Yeah, I mean, will make you understand if you understand the system at all, because the authentication is the core, is the foundation of every system. So, which I believe that if you have this skill set, it's going to be added on your resume. So another thing is, if you are front-end developer and you have no skills about the backend, then it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense to create or to use these third-party services to do the authentication for you. So and another tip I want to give you is use of the framework. Nowadays, Laravel, Django, they have the pre-built authentication system, which is really strong. The only thing you need to modify is the API keys and so on, and how to plug into the to this authentication and use them. So not everyone is using this framework, of course, but if you happen to use Laravel or Django, then the authentication is not going to be in equation because the authentication is already done for you. So that's what I wanted to talk about, the authentication services. Should you care about it at all or not? And yeah, I hope I just added value on you if I did. So thank you so much for watching my video, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my video. Subscribe to my channel and help me get 1,000 users on my YouTube channel, which I do after work, of course, because yeah, yeah. So please subscribe to my channel and let me know what you think. Should you create your own authentication services or not? And if yes, why should you do that? And if not, why you should not do that? So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.